Welcome back. Now, I want to have a chat with you about making the most of your career, because a new survey has found that over 75% of office workers want to change their job, and that's because of things like burnout and a lack of work-life balance. So if you are one of the people who is tired of work and you fancy a change, we're going to show you how to quit your job and get a better life. Now, who better to inspire us to succeed than self-made millionaire David Fishwick, who went from labourer, didn't you, David, to opening your own bank, which is quite the story. So tell us how it happened.
Well, I left school at 16 with absolutely no qualifications whatsoever. Ended up on the building site as a labourer. My dad thought that'd be a good job. And I just couldn't actually afford the price of a chip butter. I remember being in one of the chip shops locally to me on Hallam Road there, and she was frying the chips and she's buttering the bread, and I put my hand in my pocket. The price was 37 pence, and I pulled 35 pence out, and I thought, do you know what? I'm a couple of pence short, but I'll just say to her, take a few chips off the top, and she won't. Anyway, I said, I'm ever so sorry, I'm a few pence short. Could you take a few chips off the top? I'm sorry. And she said, do you know what? I'm sorry, son. She took some chips off the top, Steph, and she threw them in the bin. And I thought, I don't want to be poor. You know, I was up and down ladders for £27.50 a week with a bucket of cement in each hand. It was no good. I was working really hard, but I wasn't getting paid or on a £5 a day. And I just thought to myself, oh, I need to do something. But what can I do when you've got no money? How can you start a business with nothing? I loved cars. I'm passionate about cars. But I had no money. So I thought, I'll go around all the old garages and I'll find out if they've any old part exchanges. Because if they've a part exchange that they've took in swap, perhaps I can take that away, clean it up, sell it and bring them the money back. So that's what I did.
Did you? So you literally went to a second-hand sales
and
said, can I sell a car for you?
On Bath Street, Nelson, and he said to me, do you know what? Bring us 70 quid back, lad, and you can have it. So I took it away, I cleaned it up, worked really hard on it, advertised it for 100 quid, Steph. And I took him his 70 quid back up, and I ended up with £27 profit. I advertised it for 100, I had to knock a couple of quid off, you know, to be good. But 27 quid back then were a week's wages. And I thought, Eureka! This is what we need. So I did it again. I said, can I take another one and another one? And then I learned a really important lesson where if you've got enough 27 quids, you can then negotiate a better deal because you can pay up front. So that was the beginning of it, 17 years old.
And then from that, it went into buses, didn't it, into minibuses, and then, you know, before you know it, you're setting up your own bank to help other people.
I went from cars, then to vans, and then a bus. I tried a bus. And somebody said, what are you doing with a bus? And I thought, 17 seats, going to have to clean it all. But what a good job that was, because it was a eureka moment. And when they come, you've got to grab them with both hands, because I went from that to becoming the largest supplier of buses in the country.
Yeah, God, it's such a good story. And so, you know, there'll be people watching this who might be thinking, God, they're just not enjoying their job, a bit like you were when you were a labourer. How do you go about leaving your job? And, you know, because with people without money, that's a really tricky thing to do, isn't it, when they've not got the income? So how do you go about it, do you think?
The first thing to do is don't kick the sticks away first. So get yourself a part-time job. You can do it nights or at weekends. I had 3 jobs at one point. Don't kick the sticks away. Look at the thing you're passionate about. What do you want to do with your life? What would you do if you didn't need a job? That's the thing you really want to do. Find how to work out how to get there. So passion, drive, really push forwards. And you want to work somewhere that you admire the people. So that's really important. Keep a job on the side, start at the bottom of the ladder and work the way up. Set yourself some goals. Start at one where you're just a month away from the first goal, then 3 months away, then 6 months away. But where do you want to be in 12 months? Then reverse engineer how you're going to do it, press the sat-nav button and set off.
Yeah, and I want to ask you as well about setting up a business in particular, like what your advice would be from your perspective as a, you know, business owner.
Well, just before I do that, I've got a letter here where I applied for a job and I actually got turned down. Now, here we go. HM Treasurer, dear Mr Fishwick, Governor of the Bank of England, thank you for your recent application for the post of Governor for the Bank of England. I'm just listening to you, that young man there talking about being rejected. And here we go. I regret to inform you that you have not actually been sifted through to the next stage of the collection process. I appreciate you will be very disappointed. So I didn't get the job either. And that's exactly what you do. Just pick yourself up, take a deep breath, and I've stuck that on the wall in the Bank of Dave.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't get.
I love that you went for that job as the governor of the Bank of Dave. Because that's the thing as well. It's about taking risks, I guess.
Of course it is.
You know, aiming high. So come on then, with business, what is it the key things you need to be doing?
Well, you need to fake it until you make it. In other words, take a deep breath. Self-belief is everything. You've got to believe in yourself first for others to believe in you. You then decide what you want to do. For instance, if you want to open a little pub, little cafe, little restaurant, little hairdressers, go get yourself a job in that pub, the local one, the busiest one there is. And have a look round on the walls, because the wallpaper and the architecture will have been done by somebody that cost a fortune. Borrow the ideas. See what drinks they sell best. See what food they sell best. You know, where do they get the stuff from? Don't try and reinvent the wheel, Steph. It goes round brilliantly. Just make the same sort of things as they do. Make a list. What do they do? How do they do it? That's really important.
Yeah.
And then learn to haggle. Haggle's another really important part of running a business, because you've got to be able to bid people at things. And if somebody says something's £1,000, bid them off. 500 quid. They're not going to take 500 quid, but you can go up a little bit. Yeah. You can't come down. And a secret is this. If you don't like making them sorts of bids, and people really don't like it in Britain, sort of going across and using them words and saying, will you take off? This is the secret. Pair of reading glasses, so I can't just see you the same now, Steph.
Yeah.
Will you take off, Steph?
What, so you put a pair of glasses on?
That's right.
The negotiation?
Because you can't see the person's eyes, and it makes a difference. And I've done it for years. And I sometimes do it on phone.
Yeah.
I'm on phone saying like this, and it just feels better because you're not looking into their eyes, especially when you're trying to buy a bus for 30 grand and you want to give them 15.
There's also lots of help out there that people might not know about, aren't there? There's
That's right.
Government initiatives around business and local enterprise partnership help.
That's right. You know, the sort of thing that's out there, and remember, when you're starting a business, it's always easier to apologise after and just do it. Worry about it after. But the government have got a super website here called gov.uk, setting up a business. Get yourself on that, get started. It's a new you, a new year. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and it's got details on there about how to register a company and things like that. All things that you just might be afraid of if this is the first time.
Nighttime reading, let's make it happen.
Yeah, great. I'm there. Not with you, obviously. That's a bit creepy.
Mrs. Death might be upset about that.
It's lovely to have you here, as ever.
Good to be here again.
Right, loads more to come. We'll see you after the break.